Climbing ropes are usually about 3/80ths of a mile long. At a rope making factory, yarn is twisted together to form a 9/16ths of a mile long rope. The rope is then cut into 3/80ths of a mile long sections and sold to customers. How many 3/80ths of a mile long ropes can be cut from a length of rope that is 9/16ths of a mile long? So let's think about what is happening. We have this rope that is 9/16ths of a mile long. So let me label that with the scribble tool. So this is 9/16ths of a mile long. And then we're going to be cutting this longer rope into sections that are 3/80ths of a mile long. So 3/80ths of a mile long, okay? And then we'll have another 3/80ths of a mile section. And we're just going to keep cutting 3/80ths of a mile sections from this rope. And this isn't to scale, so I'm just trying to show you the idea of what's happening. And I want you to think about how we're trying to figure out how many of these 3/80ths of a mile sections fit inside of 9/16ths of a mile. Now we could just keep subtracting 3/80ths, 3/80ths, 3/80ths from 9/16ths of a mile, so repeated subtraction, or we could do what I would expect you to do in 6th grade, which is know that repeated subtraction is the same thing as division. So we're going to see how many 3/80ths of a mile sections fit inside of 9/16ths using division. So let me go ahead and erase this, and then I will have room to show my work. So we are taking this 9/16ths of a mile, and we are dividing it by 3/80ths. So 9/16ths of a mile, we are dividing it by 3/80ths because we're seeing how many 3/80th size pieces fit inside of 9/16ths. So now, when we're working on dividing fractions, the first thing you need to check and see is, are they both fractions? And they are. Second, you need to see if they have a common denominator, and they do not. One denominator is 16, and one denominator is 80. So to find common denominators, we can use the method least common multiple, or you can use the method you use to find least common denominator. The method for finding the least common multiple is the same as the one we're using to find the least common denominator. We're just going to list the multiples of 16 and the multiples of 80. Or you could say, we're going to just count by 16 and then we'll count by 80. Well, 16 plus 16 is 32. Then 32 plus 16, we'll think about what that would equal. 6 and 2 is 8, 3 and 1 is 4, so that's 48. Then add 16 to 48. Well, 8 and 6 is 14, carry the 1. 4 and 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6, so 64. And then 64 plus 16 gets me to 80. And I'm going to actually stop there because I realized that I counted by 16s and now I'm going to count by 80. And really, I don't need to count by 80 because I noticed right away that the least common multiple is 80. So let me use my eraser here so I have some more room to show my work. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change 9/16ths so that it has a denominator of 80 because 3/80ths already has a denominator of 80. So I take 9/16ths and I record my new denominator, which is 80, and I think about what do I multiply 16 by to get to 80? Well, I just count over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 16s gave me 80. So I multiply 16 times 5 to get 80. So you have to multiply the numerator by that same number. So I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5. 9 times 5 gives me 45. So now I created an equivalent fraction. 9/16 is equal to 45/80. So I can cross out 9/16 and replace it with its equivalent fraction, 45/80. Let me try to write that again. 45/80. And then we can keep the 3/80. And then since these denominators are the same, 80 divided by 80 is equal to 1. To figure out the new denominator, we just divide the denominators. To find the new numerator, we just divide the numerators. So 45 divided by 3 will give us our numerator, and 45 divided by 3 is actually 15. If you count by 15s, it goes 15, 30, 45. And 15 divided by 1 is equal to 15. So let's look back at the question. It says, how many 3/80 of a mile long ropes can be cut from a length of rope that is 9/16 of a mile long? Well, we figured out that you can cut 15 of those 3/80 of a mile long ropes from 9/16 of a mile long rope.